Dude, check out this giant Tri-Wizard cup, man. This thing is huge. I'm trying to get this guy in it so you can see, look how big this thing is. Wow, very cool. We got a Starbucks in here. Amber's getting a Starbucks. Warner Brothers Starbucks. See, this is pretty cool. Arrow is one of my favorite shows. This is actually worn by Stephen Amell. That's pretty cool. And then Horror Made here. There's Annabelle. She's moving. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, see her arms moving around. Pretty cool. Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Fastpass with us. I'm Jason.
I'm Amber.
And today we're here at the WB Studios to do their tour. Yeah. Woo. You excited?
I am excited. I'm not sure what to expect, but we'll see.
We'll see. All right. Then let's go check it out. WB, we believe in the power of story. Oh, this is cool. There's their animation stuff. Good old Johnny Quest, one of my favorites. So I just noticed the ground is actually a map of the studio. This entire thing is this building, and I think these big buildings here are the like big studios that they got. It's a map of the whole studio. It's pretty cool. This is actually Phoebe's guitar from Friends. This is pretty cool. It says what they have going on the lot right now. So we might see some of that stuff.
Offices. So these over here, if you put like some numbers on the door, an ice machine in the hallway, you got yourself a motel. Like, we love having versatility with our offices, and typically if you are using that as a motel, that's probably going to be an evening shoot, so the daytime workers are going to be gone for the day by the time they're actually utilizing it. So they might be prepping it during work hours, but then filming, which is when you need to actually be quiet at the end of the day. So has anyone been on a movie studio before? No. So most of what you're going to be seeing is fake. You see this here? So these are facades. So most of these sets, they're made out of wood. That's not real brick. I don't know if you can tell. So they're made out of wood. We staple this fake brick material to the sides of it. And then actually, you know, we might stay on the cards. Just like, yeah, I don't care. That's up to you guys. I can park over here and kind of walk you around. So right now, I don't know if anyone watches Young Sheldon, but this is kind of dressed for Young Sheldon. So this can be Medford, Texas, if we need it to. But all this stuff, like, we can change it out. Let's park here and then walk around a little bit before it gets too many. Yeah, if it gets drizzly while walking around, we just bop into one of these facades. You can see, I just kind of wanted to park here and show you just how like thin this is. So what we do is we show the actors, you know, walk into the building, but then we cut, and then you see them closing a door, and at that point they're inside one of the stages. We have 31 of the stages, so most shows are going to be in there. Feel free to touch it. Don't go punching holes in our sets, please. But you can touch it. So this fake brick, we print it off in one of our shops that we have here. It's kind of like a plasticky material. And the art department comes in, they'll paint it over. We actually hire people to age and distress our sets because we want you to believe this might be New York, so we want it to not look pristine and freshly printed, so we'll scuff it up a bit and kind of make it look worn and torn and rained on. We paint rain damage onto a lot of our sets because even though we are in Southern California, the show might take place in New York or Gotham City or Chicago or wherever we need this to be.
A little bit more recently, just so you have like kind of a up-to-date history, with HD cameras being what they are today, we kind of got worried of like, hey, this old material on close inspection, especially if you're watching like Friends on a nice big HD, like you're like, whoa, that's not looking good in the background. So we kind of were like, okay, let's try this out. A new material, you can feel the difference if you'd like. You can kind of see where the difference is. This is a little bit harder, a little bit more expensive, a little bit more difficult to work with. And basically they tried it and we're like, it's not a problem yet. So we'll revisit it down the line, but as of right now, like,
It actually feels like brick.
yeah, this right here does, which is like, huh, okay. But right now it's not dressed. So what that means, most of our sets, we kind of leave them as a blank canvas. So when a production does come in, they can bring in their own set dressing, street lights, street signs, park benches, trash cans, doorknobs. Like these are all things that are going to be different depending on where and when your production takes place. So we like to leave that empty for productions to come in and kind of do that themselves.
Do you repaint it also or something?
If we need to. So some productions, if they come in, they look at this and go, I want it to be pink. They can make it pink. But, so here's our rule. We actually do have an open lot policy, so you don't even have to be Warner Brothers to film it. So if you want to, it helps.
Right.
If you're another production and we're not using this backlot, you can come in and shoot. Like I've seen, TV shows, movies, commercials, music videos. A kid had a bar mitzvah on this backlot one time. Like if we're not using it, and you've got the money, come on in. Now, if you want to do a bar mitzvah at the same time Clint Eastwood wants to make a Warner Brothers film, like we're probably going to favor that. But we do have an entire department whose job it is to schedule who's going to be where and what they're going to do to the set. Because when you come in, you dress it, you might be filming someone walking into a store, which means it's just this, that's all it's going to be in the shot. That might take you an hour to set up, you film it in the afternoon. By 2 o'clock, no one will have any idea you were here. But some productions will want the entire street, and that might take a week or two to dress the whole thing for filming. Especially if you're doing a period piece, because then you need like we did a Greatest Showman filmed here. It's not our movie, but they covered everything over with dirt because they wanted it to be set in early 1900s. So very different. Oh, this is working.
He just told us that this was Jim Carrey's apartment building in The Mask. Can't really see it. There it is. That's where he jumped out of and landed on the ground. Stanley Ipkiss.
Has anyone seen Gremlins?
Oh yeah.
That's where Dad goes to buy Gizmo at the beginning of the movie.
Oh.
Also made out of wood. Everything. Over here, also from Friends, when they go to visit Marcel the monkey on the set for Outbreak 2 with Jean-Claude Van Damme as the guest star. That's where Rachel and Monica were spying on him from around the corner. That's a Huggy Bear's bar from Starsky and Hutch. Let's see, what else can you recognize? Did anyone see Pee-wee's Big Adventure?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So that's the pet shop that catches on fire.
That's over here is where he gets his fortune told.
Oh yeah.
Madame Ruby's. Yep.
Yep. You can kill that one for sure.
That's also that corner shop where they're dressing up. If anyone's seen National Lampoon's Vacation, that's where they pull over, ask for directions, and get the hubcap stolen off the car. Damn fine automobile.
Roll them up.
Like when Penguin's henchmen hack into the Batmobile, it was parked here.
Parked here.
Steals the Batmobile and Batman Forever drives it by the gang. This isn't ours, but has anyone seen the original Spider-Man with Tobey Maguire?
Yeah.
That's where the Upside Down and the Rain Kiss takes place.
Ah.
He like goes around the corner, it's a dead end right there, you can see, and then comes down and So when we're doing scenes like that, we use rain grids, like we have for years. It's basically what a rain grid is it's like a mattress spring with hoses in it that you hook up to a water truck. And shoots the water upwards. When it falls, it looks natural, but it does create larger than normal sized water droplets. Because when it's raining naturally, and if it rains, it's going to rain on Monday. So like, feel free when that happens, look at it through the lens of your camera. You'll see that unless it's a torrential downpour, the water droplets don't always show up on camera very well. So those rain grids create more sizable, noticeable, filmable water. And if it's not particularly well lit, we have as a backup plan
Another material that we add to the water is like a creamy milk substance to make it whiter and crisper, so you're more likely to see it on camera if you need to. It's gross and you have to shower afterwards, but like to get the production done, you gotta do. So we've been doing that for decades. This was the first time we ran into a little problem, or I guess they ran into a little problem, because Toby McClure was sitting upside down with a mask on his face. Poor guy couldn't breathe. All the water was hot.
No.
So they wound up having to improvise. Because you're paying for the space.
Yeah.
Like you rented the space for the day. You weren't planning on that. It's like, well, who has idea? Because we need to get the shot. This is costing thousands and thousands of dollars. So they wound up getting some, I think it was like gauze, and shoving it up his nose. And it was so like in there that it let him breathe, but then his voice not really funny. So they had to go and voice him over. But after they were filming it, like just done style, like okay, we're 4 takes in, none of them are usable. And then she heard him start talking and went, "There's no way." You can see her start kind of giggling when she hears him talk. But then that wound up being the take that they dubbed over. So in the final cut of the movie, it just looks like she's having a playful fun time. But that's the story behind the very silly story, but I find it fun.
In Hollywood, it's probably that person. This is our little Chicago set. So this is Patsy's Pies from Shameless. It was the cash and grab in the first season. Then they just remodeled it. You can kind of see they're doing some work on the windows in there. That's a practical, so they can go in there and film. And every now and then a truck will go by, and like the Batmobile will be on the back of it, or the mystery machine. And like, ah! And some days I'm like, I always hold for the trucks. You never know. This right here, from The Mask, since I know a couple of you seen it, this is where they did the Cuban Pete dance.
Oh.
It's kind of the park, and the SWAT team was waiting for him, so he gets into the conga line. This is the hangout from All American. They'll turn this whole little area into Beverly Hills. And that's practical, so they do go in there. Because like I said, like you can shoot a diner. You want to pop in? Let's pop in.
So I think this other group is going to come in, so we'll kind of switch over to a shared space. But I just want to bring you all in so you can see what it looks like on the inside of these things. You gotta have air conditioning. When you're filming in here and you got those lights going and the body heat from the cast and crew is well over 100 degrees. So you need that AC to be going up in there. They'll also hang lights up top. That's what that's for. Very rarely do we have ceilings in the shop.
Yeah.
That's Gotham City Hall down there. So, fun fact, next time you're watching reruns, they used stunt doubles for that. In the 60s, hopping out of a car and running up a flight of stairs was considered a stunt. So it wasn't just a reward. And they recycled that same footage in every episode. You'll see a woman in a red dress cross in front of them because it's the same footage. And I swear, you're not going to believe me, but this was Japan for The Last Samurai. They covered everything over with those plantons that I was mentioning earlier to make it look like Japanese architecture, because we don't have like a Japanese set, so we have to transform what we have into it. And then they covered it over with dirt, and that's where Tom Cruise gets jumped by some of the samurai. This is where the Friends stage is.
Oh yeah.
You also see that Friends fountain now that it's Halloween time, and like in Hocus Pocus you see it. Point out, not our movies. So this is where Full House used to film as well, and Fuller House, and the Friends reunion, all shot in here.
Oh,
The first season of Friends, though, shot in stage 5, but once it got picked up, this was its home, so that's why it got its plaque. And the day that plaque went up, John Stamos from Full House was here filming for ER, drove by and saw that and said, "That's not the Friends stage, that's the Full House stage." He had his own piece of paper, wrote Full House stage on it, and stuck it over the Friends stage plaque. So for a day, that was the Full House stage. Anybody a Goonies fan?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So fun little story that I just tickled my funny bone. When they were doing that scene, they wanted it to be a surprise to the actors. They wanted their natural reaction to seeing the pirate ship. So the first time they go in, it's the first time they were seeing it, but they wound up not being able to use that take because one of the kids was so excited to use profanity. Also, these stages all have these plaques. They're not all inclusive. If we put every pickup shot, commercial, music video, pilot episode that never got picked up this season, it'd be the length of the whole wall. So we only put the big stuff on there, or it's arbitrary, it's whatever they decide to put on there. And then a couple of them get like the big plaques like this one has.
That was the list that they were showing before.
Also not credited is the Star Wars Christmas special.
Oh.
Don't know why they didn't find that fit to put up. Oh, you get it.
Ocean's 11.
All right, come on in, everybody. Just hold the door for the person behind. This over here is it's called the riffraff room. So this is where the audience loads in at the top of the show. It's also like a gift shop. It's a place for them to like hang out. And then if you don't have guaranteed main tickets, you'll watch from back here. But if someone with guaranteed tickets didn't show up, they'll pull from back here to fill the seats. You can't have empty seats. You can't go on the stage, but if you'd like a photo, you can grab a photo.
I know. All the lighting up here. There's all the seats. Cameras.
Yep, and it's pumping the air conditioning. So right now it's just the house lights. These won't be on in the film. These ones will. Not all of them.
There's Amber. Her own show.
About 7 or 8 cameras per show. Very, very large production.
You don't see all that.
No, you don't.
You see up to.
We can switch over and counter. So it's bigger? It seems 300.
So we were told that for Ellen's show, that seat is reserved for her mom. Right there.
This is the bridge building that I want to drive us under. This used to be where Camelot Castle stood from the 1967 film Camelot. I don't really do a lot of castles anymore, so they took it down and said, hey, we need more offices. But as I mentioned earlier, like every office is also a filming location. So this is a convention center, it's an airport, a train station, office building. It was E3 if you watch the new Space Jam movie. Yeah, Lucifer's used as a business office, train station, and things like Supergirl, convention center for Big Bang Theory. Gets a lot of mileage. It's a very lovely, usable location. And no one, I have some friends that work in the office, they're not allowed to put anything in their windows. Like you can't, like some people will like hang movie posters or something. You can't put anything up because they don't need to, like they need to use it for filming. And they don't want to have to break down the door of your office and take it down if it's in a shot that it shouldn't exist in. So there's little things like that you maybe don't think about. I have no idea what that's for. It's been a lot of fun stuff. We're seasonally off at a movie studio. Because like, by the time you're seeing the Halloween episode airing, we have to have shot that and edited it. Which means we're shooting that in like July.
Jeez.
It's real rough for Christmas stuff. People, it's like August and they're shooting those scenes. And those poor background actors are like making snow angels. And it's like 110. Fake snow. They're doing it in like plastic and cornstarch. Gross. Cut! Oh my god, take everything off. Alright, so I'm going to bring you now to stage 48. So this was built about 6 years ago, with the purpose being like we want to show you what you don't see actively happening on the tour. Things like designing the costumes, writing the script, storyboarding, sound work. So this is a more hands-on look at how all of that is done, where you can kind of go at your own pace, see it, and of course we have the Central Perk set. We also have a Central Perk coffee shop when you first go in there, which is pretty neat, but they won't let you bring food or drink into the exhibit because we have sets that we want to preserve. So keep that in mind. But it's really cool. Check it out. There's a lot of cool photo ops in here. I hope you all enjoyed your time today. I hope I ruined television for you. Thank you for joining me. Make sure you get all your stuff and enjoy yourselves in there. It's a fun time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey guys, thanks for watching our WB Studio tour video. The video actually ended up being a lot longer than we thought, so we're going to divide it up into 2 parts. The studio tour part, which you just watched, and then we're going to do stage 48 on another video. So thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you real soon. Boop.